I am Dr. Sanbu Selvi, the Department of Agriculture Biotechnology. I am going to deliver a lecture on the nitrogen fixation in plants. Why we have to carry out the nitrogen fixation in plants? Because the plant cannot fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, therefore the plant can fix the atmospheric nitrogen only in the form of the ammonia. So we are converted of the nitrogen present in the soil converted into the ammonia, and that ammonia nitrification bacteria convert the ammonia into the nitrite and the nitrate. Therefore, it is called as the nitrogen fixation in plants. So, which plant is involved in the nitrogen fixation? The leguminous is the plant is involved in that of a nitrogen fixation. So therefore we are going to talk about the leguminous is the plant, how the plant can involve in the nitrogen. So the next thing is have the roots. Okay, so have the roots, how the nitrogen fixation is carried out by means of the root nodulation. Okay, root nodulation in plants. So these are the different type of varieties of root nodulations, such as the groundnut, soya bean, Bengal gram, clover, and guar. The ball round shape like structure, it is attached to the root. Okay, that is called as the root nodules. Okay, so root nodule formulation in plants. Okay, so what is called as a nitrogen first? Because why we want to know that is of a nitrogen fixation in plants. Okay, so the nitrogen is the essential constituents of all the biomolecules. It is present in both the plants as well as in animals. And most of the plants obtain the nitrogen from the soil in the form of the nitrate or ammonia ion, but it is limited. Okay, so the atmospheric nitrogen cannot be fixed by the plant. Okay, so the atmosphere consists of how much amount means it is a 78% of the molecular nitrogen, but the plants are unable to convert the molecular nitrogen. Therefore, it cannot directly fix the nitrogen as such. Okay, so it can be converted into the useful form means the nitrate. Okay, the plants are absorb the nitrogen in the form of nitrite and the nitrate. Okay, so but the plants cannot directly take the nitrogen from the soil as in the form of the nitrate. So why? Because of the specific enzyme is lacked in the plants. So which enzyme is lacked means the nitrogenase enzyme. This nitrogenase enzyme is totally absent in the plants. Only the prokaryote means the bacteria only possess the enzyme. It is available in the soil. Okay, so now that is of how the nitrogen fixation carried out with the help of the bacteria. The nitrogen can be converted into the nitrate. Okay, so and the nitrogen cycle. Okay, so here the nitrogen cycle, how it can be carried out in the atmosphere. The atmosphere, it does have the 78%, it is present there, right? But all the nitrogen is not utilized by that is of a plant. So the inside the soil, the different bacteria are present. The first step is the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, the nitrogen fixing the soil bacteria, it is buried inside the soil. What is its role means it is convert the nitrogen into the ammonia by the enzyme nitrogenase. Okay, so this nitrogenase enzyme convert it and then you are getting the nitrite. Okay, so that nitrite ammonia converted into the nitrite by the enzyme is called as nitrogenase, the same mechanism, but with the help of this nitrification mechanism. So with the help nitrification in the presence of the nitrifying bacteria. So the ammonia is converted into the nitrite. And then nitrate, once again, the nitrifying bacteria are present inside the soil. It can be converted into the nitrate. Okay, so these nitrate, once again, denitrifying bacteria. All the bacteria are present inside the soil. Okay, so denitrification, once again, denitrification means what happened that nitrate is converted into the nitrogen that is released into the atmosphere. Okay, so this is called as a nitrogen cycle, but the plants need what mode means the plants need the nitrogen in the form of the ammonia, and that ammonia once again converted into the nitrite and then converted into the nitrate. Okay, so that nitrate, you're having that nitrate, right? So the nitrate is absorbed by the roots and then you have supplemented to the plants. Okay, so this is the nitrogen cycle. So the nitrogen cycle is startup is present in the soil. Okay, the soil contains the microbes. That microbes only have the enzyme nitrogenase, and that nitrogenase convert the nitrogen into the ammonium ions, converted into the ammonium ions. Okay, converted into the ammonium ions. So this process is called as the nitrogen fixation. Okay, and the next thing is the nitrogen fixation is the first step of what? The first step of the nitrogen cycle. So where the molecular nitrogen is reduced by the nitrogen fixing bacteria, it is to give the product as ammonia. So the nitrogen can be converted into the ammonia in the presence of the enzyme nitrogenase. And the nitrogen cycle have three processes. Already I thought previous slide I showed that it does have contained the ammonification, nitrification and the denitrification mechanism. So ammonification means the nitrogen converted into the ammonia, and that ammonia can be converted into the nitrite and nitrate, and that nitrate once again converted into the molecular nitrogen. Okay, converted into the molecular nitrogen by the denitrifying the bacteria. Okay, so automatically what happened? The remaining denitrification of the nitrogen, it is released into the atmosphere. Okay, and then what is called as the nitrogen fixation? Now we are coming to the main topic. The process of the what? The process of converting the nitrogen into the ammonia. So then only the plant can absorb the nitrogen. It is called as the nitrogen fixation. Okay, so the nitrogen fixation means the nitrogen converted into the ammonia. And the types of nitrogen fixation, there are two types of nitrogen fixation. One is called as the biological nitrogen fixation or the non-biological nitrogen fixation. Biological means with the help of microorganism, it is called as biological. There are two types, that is called as symbiotic nitrogen fixation and asymbiotic nitrogen fixation. Symbiotic means both of them are mutually benefited. That is called as the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Okay, so asymbiotic means in the absence of association or beneficial, one of them only benefited, that is called as asymbiotic. So the biological nitrogen fixation can be classified into symbiotic nitrogen fixation and asymbiotic nitrogen fixation. And then next one is non-biological. Non-biological means in the absence of microorganism, the physical factors such as lightning and these cases convert the nitrogen into the different chemical constituent that also support the growth of the plant, that is called as the nitrogen fixation. Okay, and then next thing is we are coming to the what is it called as non-biological nitrogen fixation. The non-biological nitrogen fixation means the nitrogen may be fixed by the electrical discharge. Okay, so discharge of lightning. During the lightning and thunder, that case the atmospheric nitrogen combines with oxygen to form the nitrous oxide. Okay, so that is the first initial step. So lightning combined with the nitrogen plus oxygen to yield the nitrous oxide. And that nitrous oxide combines with another one molecule. You are getting that is of the nitrous oxide. And that nitrous oxide combines with the water molecule to form the nitric acid. Okay, so nitric acid plus nitrous acid, you are getting the product, right? So you are getting the product, and these products readily release the hydrogen, and then finally it form in the case of what? Nitrate and nitrite ions. In a plants want to absorb the nitrogen in the form of a nitrite and nitrate ions. So HNO3 can be converted into H plus NO3. NO3 is called as the nitrate ion, and HNO2 can be converted into H plus NO2. NO2 means a nitrite ion. So that is the main difference between the NO3 and NO2. If it is NO3 ions means it is the nitrate, and NO2 means a nitrite. Okay. And then next case, having the biological nitrogen fixation. The main important concept is the biological nitrogen fixation have that is of a symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So in the presence of the prokaryote. So the prokaryotic domain, why the nitrogenase enzyme only present in the bacteria. So the prokaryote which have fixed the atmospheric nitrogen, therefore it is called as a nitrogen fixers. Okay. So it includes both symbiotic and as well as that is of a free living association with the plants. So it is called as a diazotropes. The diazotropes means certain strains of the bacteria on the genus, the Rhizobium, that shows the symbiotic association with the legumes via the root nodules. So these species convert the molecular nitrogen to the ammonia. So the species convert the molecular nitrogen to the ammonia. So nitrogen combines with the H plus ion and 16 molecules of ATP and 16 molecules of water. In the presence of the electron, it can be converted into ammonia. See that N2 is converted to NH3. We need that is of that much of protons as well as that is of an electron with the energy, 16 molecules of ATP and 16 molecules of water. Then only you are getting the 2 molecules of ammonia. 2 molecules of ammonia plus H plus ion plus 16 ADP plus 16 Pi can be formed. So the ammonia, the spark is incorporated where it goes, this ammonia. The ammonia can incorporate either into the glutamate by the enzyme glutamate dehydrogenase or into the glutamine amino acids, right? The both of them are amino acids. They can be incorporated into it by the enzyme is called as the glutamate synthetase. So the nitrogen converted into the ammonia, and that ammonia can be incorporated either into the glutamate or the glutamine. And the next step is what are the basic requirements for the nitrogen fixation. So the basic requirement for the nitrogen fixation, the main thing is enzyme. So the enzyme is called as the nitrogenase enzyme complex. So the nitrogenase enzyme complex, the main thing is it is where it is present in the soil. So anaerobic condition and then protective mechanism against the oxygen. Therefore, it is called as a leg hemoglobin. So the leg hemoglobin is present there. And then another important feature is ferredoxin. The ferredoxin is the iron containing compound. Okay. So the pigment, it is also present inside that. So these ferredoxin, leg hemoglobin, hydrogen releasing system, because it is like an electron transport chain. The electron transfer from the one segment to another segment along with that, then therefore it is called hydrogen releasing system or electron transport chain. And then constant supply of ATP molecules and coenzymes and cofactors like CoA, inorganic phosphate and Mg2 plus ions. So not only the enzymes, it is also need that is of a hemoglobin, that is called as a leg hemoglobin, and another is called as a ferredoxin, that is iron sulfur rich compound, electron transport chain, having the electron donor, right? And then constant supply of ATP molecules, coenzymes and cofactors. So coenzymes and cofactors like CoA, inorganic phosphate and Mg2 plus ions are involved. And the minerals, cobalt and molybdenum. So these are the basic components present in the nitrogen fixation. All the things are attached to the enzyme nitrogenase. Therefore, nitrogenase is a multi-enzyme complex like, right? So the basic, the components we are discussed, Now we are going to know that is of how the mechanisms can be carried out. So they can be carried out in that biological nitrogen fixation carried out by highly conserved the complex of the proteins called as a nitrogenase. Nitrogenase complex, which is mainly consists of two important protein, that is called as iron protein. Another one is molybdenum iron conjugated protein. So the iron protein name is called as dinitrogen reductase. Dinitrogen reductase. Another one is called as dinitrogenase. And then what is the structure is present means the dinitrogenase reductase, if you are taken, it is the dimer. Dimer means two subunits are present. Therefore, it is called two identical subunits. And it contains the single, the 4 iron and 4 sulfur redox center, the bound between the subunits. This can be oxidized or reduced by the 1 electron. And because it have both the oxidation and reduction reaction, so oxidoreductase, the reaction can be the involved. And also it have the binding site for what? ATP molecules. And that dinitrogenase, okay. Dinitrogenase, it is a tetramer. Tetramer means 4 subunits with the 2 copies of the 2 different subunits are present, alpha 2 and the beta 2. Therefore, it is called as heterodimer is present. It contains both the iron and the molybdenum, because the minerals, what are the minerals it is present means iron and the molybdenum is present in the nitrogenase. And then here you are coming to the structure wise, it have called as a redox centers. Redox means oxidation as well as the reduction simultaneously carried out, recover the iron. So how many ions are there? 32 ions are there needed. 2 molybdenum is required and 30 is per tetramer sulfur. Sulfur is there, because oxidation, reduction, electron transfer, the iron sulfur cluster is very, very important in the similar like electron transport chain. So 30 S per tetramer is present and it has the binding site for what? Reductase. So about the half of the iron and the sulfur is presented as the bridged parts of the 4 iron and 4 sulfur center. Therefore, it is called as a P cluster. Okay, it is called as the P cluster is present. And then what is the P cluster key? So the diagrammatic representation of the picture itself, you have to see that is of a dimer as well as the tetramerase is the present. It consists of the 4 iron and the 4 sulfur cluster linked through that is of additional the sulfate ions. Okay, sulfate ions. Now we are coming to the mechanism. So this mechanism, the main role is what? The nitrogen can be converted into the ammonia by the enzyme nitrogenase. So these nitrogenase, it recover 8 electrons. How many electrons we need? Only the 8 electrons is need. And first the dinitrogenase is reduced by transferring the electrons. Okay, so what happened that time? It transferring the electron to dinitrogen reductase. Dinitrogenase reductase is carried out. And the dinitrogenase have the 2 important binding site is also present for the reductase activity. So how many electrons can be transferred means we need that is of 8 electrons. So 8 electron transferred from the reductase to the dinitrogenase one at a time. So every time what happened that is of 8 electrons. So the 8 electrons are transferred from the reductase to the dinitrogenase at a time. And then reduced reductase, it bind. How that is of a binding means it is a tightly bind, right? So the reduced reductase, it is the bind to the dinitrogenase and transfer the single electrons. Okay, so each time the single electron is oxidized from the dissociate into the repeated cycle. So every cycle it is continuously it is going on. So each cycle recover the hydrolysis of what? Energy rich compound ATP molecules. So by the enzyme called as dinitrogenase reductase. And so every time the reduction is carried out, that time also the ATP is subjected into hydrolysis into ADP plus inorganic phosphate, and then intermediate the source of electron to reduce the reductase is called as a reduced the pyridoxine. And then so it have subjected to the oxidized state. The oxidized state can be converted into that is of a reduced the pyridoxine. So, and then next point is ultimate the source of electron to reduce the pyridoxinous, which is involved in that is of a reduction, right? So reduction of the pyridoxinous with the help of the pyruvate, okay, the help of pyruvate. So up to that, the nitrogenase enzyme is an important role. So this is the mechanism. The nitrogen, it does act like a component, and that can be converted into the ammonia by the enzyme is called as the nitrogenase. The nitrogenase is enzyme is a multi-enzyme complex, like it contains the enzyme, coenzymes, cofactors, metal ions, and the minerals is present there, and they have act like the what oxidoreduction reaction. They have the redox centers. So both the oxidation action. So and finally coming to the point is recover the energy also. So that energy converted into the ammonia. So what is the final conclusion we are coming to that? It is the nitrogenase enzyme is play a key role. It is active only in which condition? Buried inside the soil. So in the absence of oxygen, therefore it is called as anaerobic conditions. It is made up of two proteins. Okay, so what are the two proteins? Means a non-heme iron protein, another one iron molybdenum protein. So iron protein is present. The enzyme is called as two enzymes are the nitrogenase. One is called as a dinitrogen reductase. Another one is called as dinitrogenase. So the iron protein reacts with the ATP and reduce the second subunit, which ultimately reduces the nitrogen into the ammonia. So the nitrogen combines with the 6 molecules of proton and 6 molecules of electron. We are getting the 2 molecules of the ammonia. And then next step is the nitrogenase, where it is present. The enzyme is present in the specific bacteria, that is called as the rhizobium. And that rhizobium, where it live in the root nodules of the leguminous, the plants. Okay, so some free living soil and aquatic bacteria also possess the enzyme nitrogenase. Not only that is of a rhizobium, free living soil and aquatic bacteria can also possess the nitrogenase enzyme. So the nitrogenase reaction, what does it reaction means? The nitrogen combined with that is of a 6 electron or 8 electron, it depends on it. And but 16 molecules of ATP can be converted to give the 2 molecules of ammonia, H plus ion, 16 molecules of ATP and 16 molecules of inorganic phosphate. And this nitrogenase have, what is the molecular weight? Means 60 kilodalton. It is the homodimer, and with a single 4 iron sulfur clusters are present and very oxygen sensitive. Why we are saying that it is oxygen sensitive? Because it is also respirated with the presence of the leg hemoglobin. What is the role of hemoglobin? The hemoglobin is to carry the oxygen, right? The same thing as the leg hemoglobin is also present in it. Therefore, we are saying that it is called as oxygen sensitive. And then it binds with the Mg2 plus ions and ATP molecules. So how many ATP molecules we need? That is of a, depending on 2 molecules of NH3, we can form 16 molecules of ATP we need that. So, okay. So 16 molecules of ATP are consumed per nitrogen. Okay. And then next you are coming to the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So up to that nitrogenase is over. And then next thing is the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Symbiotic means both of them are mutually benefited. So the bacteria colonize the plant cells within the root. Okay, where it is present, they get that is of a multiplication. Bacteria is present in the root and then multiply it. Okay, so that is carried out in that is of a root nodules. So where the address of a root nodules, we convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the ammonia in the presence of the nitrogenous the compounds such as the glutamine or the uridites to the plants. Okay, the plant in turn, it provides the bacteria with the organic compounds which is made by what? Photosynthesis. Okay, so the plant also get the nutrient, the bacteria also get the nutrient for the growth, right? The multiplication. So both of them are mutual beneficial relationship. Therefore, it is called as a rhizobia. The genus name is called as a Rhizobium. Therefore, it is called as Rhizobia. Both of them are mutually benefited. Okay, what is it called as a Rhizobia? The Rhizobia is belong to the family is it called as Rhizobiaceae family, and the Rhizobium are called as symbiotic diazotrophs. Okay, symbiotic diazotrophs. It forms the endosymbiotic association where it is present. It is present with the legumes. Okay, legumes means pulses plant. Okay, so the Rhizobium, it is always associated with the root nodules of the leguminous is the plant. After the cultivation of the root, you can see the small ball-like structure. It is present in the root. That is called as root nodules. Okay, so Rhizobium is the what type of bacteria? Means it is a gram-negative the soil bacteria. They are non-sporing the bacteria and the rod-shaped cells. Okay, and then what is the genus is this and the species name, which kingdom it is present means it is a bacteria, right? It is a prokaryote. So that is the first scientists, they discovered it. It is from the Netherlands. That is called as a Pegirenic. They isolate the microorganisms from the nodules of the legumes in the year 188. That is 8,888. He named it as called as the Bacillus radicula, which it is now named as the Bergeret Journal of the Determinative the Bacteriology under the genus name of the Rhizobium. So the kingdom is called as the bacteria and the phylum is called as a Proteobacteria and the class is called as alpha Protobacteria. Order is called Rhizobiales. Family is called Rhizobiae. We are more concentrate on that is of a genus name. That is called as the Rhizobium. And the scientist is discovered is called as a Frank in the year 1889. Okay, and then what is it called as a Rhizobium? The genus is the first isolated and the Frank in the year 1889. And then have identified that there are so many species. Okay, genus name is there, and then the different species are isolated from the different plants because of the based on that is of a phylogenetic analysis. It now currently how many 49 rhizobial species are present and 11 non-rhizobial species are present in that. Okay, so and then right hand side you can see the culture of the Rhizobium on that is of a agar plate. The agar plate contains the media is called as yeast extract mannitol agar plate, and that plate you are getting the Rhizobium in the culture plate. Okay, and then next thing is what is it called as a Rhizobia means? It is a soil bacteria. It is basically found in the soil, and the most of the bacteria in the soil are about 1 micron in length of the diameter. And the Rhizobium have the ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the symbiotic association with the host legumes. Okay, so with the host legumes. So the bacteria in environment that have the high level of nutrients may be the larger than those in the nutrient of the poor conditions. So it converts the atmospheric nitrogen into the ammonium. So therefore recommended crops, what are the crops means? Chickpea, pea, lentils, black gram, green gram, cowpea, Pigeon pea, and oil seed means soya beans and the groundnut oil seeds, soya beans and groundnut. And the nodal formulation, what are the steps are carried out in that is of a root nodal formation? The root nodal formation in the leguminous is the plantus. The 5 steps are the first step is called as attraction and the multiplication of the Rhizobium. And second point is the attachment to the root surface. And then third step is called root hurling. And fourth step is the formation of the infection thread. And the fifth step is the root nodal formation. So what is the first step is attraction and the multiplication of a Rhizobium. So the interaction in a symbiotic we are telling, right? So the interaction between the rhizobium and the legume is by the flavonoids, the flavors. The flavors are produced and secreted by the legumes. So automatically the bacteria are attracted by the root of the leguminous the plants. And the second step is attachment to the root surface. That is the electron microscopic observation. We are seeing that is of what? The exopolysaccharides, right? The exopolysaccharides are produced by the rhizobium. Okay, so they can interact with the lectin. Okay, because the polysaccharides bind with the dust of a lectin. So these lectin can be produced from the leguminous the plants. So the root produce the leguminous the root, right? The root tip is produce the lectin. So automatically the exopolysaccharide is produced by the rhizobium. So both of them, they can interact it. Okay. So these exopolysaccharides helps to bind the rhizobium cells to the root hair. And the third point is you are having that is of a root hair. You are having that after it is having that, you have to form that is of a step, that is attachment of the root surface. We are having infection thread like structure is there, right? So infection thread, because curly like appearances is there, and that curling appearances have to form that is of a, because the curl is why it can be formed, means the curling halling formation, the binding of the exopolysaccharide to the lectin, the curl like formation is there. So the formation of the infection thread. The infection thread is originate from the tip of the curled portion of the root hair seals. Okay, so it is the tubular structure and that carry the rhizobia from the root surface to the root cortex. So the nucleus of the root hair cell guides the pathway of infection thread to the root hair. And then what is the step is here carried out? The nodulation. So what is the step is carried out? The movement of the bacteria, see that here movement of the bacteria, right? So this the movement of the bacteria, it is a passes from the tip to that is of a cortex. So the cortical cells can be carried out. So this is the called as a bacteria, and that bacteria, once the first chemical signals, the chemical signals attract the bacteria and then form the infection thread. So after the infection thread, we are going to start the development of the bacterioid. And that bacterioid, we are going to divide it in the pericycle. So the bacteria, the root hair automatically is slugging off. And after the slugging off, the growth is continued and then root nodules of formation is started. So once a root nodule formation is started, the bacteria increase in size. Okay. So, and the next step is what happened that there from the bacteria, the bacteria can enter into the mature nodule, grow into to form that is of a smaller, the ball-like structure, it is appear. Okay. So what are the zones are present in that is of a meristem means zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 and there. So zone 1 means it is called as active meristem. So this is the where the new nodal tissues are formed. First formed, the tissues are formed in that, which we can later differentiated into the other zones of the nodule. And then next step is infection thread. So infection zone means once the status of infected, we have the status of infection thread is completely full of bacteria. So the plant cells are larger than in the previous zone and the cell division is halted. And then third one, interzone is there, right? Second and third. So here the bacteria have entered the cells which contain the amyloplast. So these amyloplast, what happened that they elongate and begin to terminately differentiated into the symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria. And the zone 3, that is the very, very important thing, that is called as a nitrogen fixation zone. So each cell in the zone contains the large central valvule and the cytoplasm is filled with the fully differentiated the bacteria which are actively fixing the nitrogen. So thus the plant provide these cells with the leg hemoglobin resulting in the distinct the pink color. Because of that the root nodules, you are observed that you are having that is of a pink color or that is of a yellow color. ball-shaped structure it is there. So zone 4, here it is called as senescent zone. Here the plant cells and the bacteria content are finally degraded. So once after the formation, it can be degraded. So the breakdown of this leg hemoglobin, the bacteria contain the leg hemoglobin, it has resulted in that as of a visible greening at the base of a nodule. This is the most widely used type of the nodule, okay, especially in that as of a peanut plant. You are seeing that as of a lupins. So they have the nodules form the different infection, okay, through that as of a epidermis, where infection threads are sometimes never formed in that as case. So the nodules grow around the root and forming a collar-like structure. In this nodules and the pea plant, the type, the central infected tissue is uniform, lacking. The uninfected cells are seen in the nodulation of soya beans and many intermediate types such as the peas and the cloves. And then the nodule development. So all these cases we are having the tell that root, okay. So the root is begin to swell and then formation is called as the nodule. The nodule has become visible. So in the field, the nodules are visible within the 21 to 28 days from the emergence of the plant. So the time, that is very, very important. So when the plant is cultivated, the field, the nodules are visible from 21 to 28 days. The time from the planting to appearance of the nodules varies depending on the plant growth and availability of the mineral nitrogen present in the soil. Depending on the nitrogen only, it is Kena, because what is the role? The nitrogen converted into ammonia. So the nodules are differ in size, shape, color, texture, and the location. And the shape and the location is depends on the host legume. What type of legumes the bacteria can grow. Based on that only what happened, color, the size, texture, location can be occur. And then the nodule formation, if you are taking it biochemically, if you are telling that they have multiply, right? Multiply within the plant cells and become transformed into the swollen, misshapen, and branched cells. It is called as bacteria. Okay, so the rhizobia multiply, okay, within the plant cell itself. Once it is enter into the plant cell, automatically it forms the bacteria. So the microcolony of bacteria becomes surrounded by the parts of the plant, the cytoplasmic membrane, to form a structure is called as symbiosome. Okay, it has helped in that as of a nitrogen fixation begin. So the bacteria produce the enzyme is called as nitrogenase. The ammonia attaches to the compound by the plant, forming the amino acid. So which amino acid is formed? Glutamine. Okay, so this glutamine is present in that, and these amino acids move out of the nodule to other parts of the plant where they undergo the further changes. So it is estimated that the legume Rhizobia symbiosis recover how much kilogram? 10 kilogram of carbohydrate for each kilogram of nitrogen fixed. Therefore, the energy need is also expensive. So this is the mechanism. It can be carried out inside the bacteria. Okay, so photosynthesis, you are getting the sugar, and from the sugar, the conversion is organic acid, and that organic acid enter into that is of a bacteria. You are getting the pyruvate, right? And that pyruvate, with the help of ATP molecules, you are getting the nitrogenase enzyme. And that nitrogenase enzymes involved in that nitrogen can be converted into the ammonia. So this can be carried out in the bacteria. And then hemoglobin, what is its role? The hemoglobins are present in that electron transport chain is also carried out. Oxygen combined with the leg hemoglobin to form the oxy-leg hemoglobin is carried out. So along the citric acid cycle, electron transport chain, like a mitochondria, it is carried out inside the bacteria. So that bacteria convert the nitrogen into the ammonia, and releasing of this ammonia can conjugate with the glutamine and then asparagine. Okay, and then the last one, the nodule senescence. So eventually the nodules, according to the age and the decay, it is senescence. Senescence means falling down. So the lifespan is largely determined by the 4 factors: physiological condition, moisture content of the soil, presence of any parasite and the strain of rhizobia, which strain is you are using that. As the plant put more energy and seed production, the nitrogen fixing activity of bacteria decreases. So eventually the nodules stop the functioning, disintegrate and releasing the bacteria into the soil. So the finally come to that the rhizobia may survive, infect the new plant during the next cropping session. So the finally, therefore, whenever your paddy cultivation is the crop rotation of the leguminous is the plant, because the leguminous, the plant can fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the ammonia. It can be utilized for the nitrogen content in the soil as well as the fertility of the plant. Okay, so this is the main concept in that is of organic farming and then biofertilizers, because the biofertilizer, the nitrogen can be converted into the ammonia. So, okay, so nitrogen can be converted into the ammonia by means of this. You have to use this. Thank you so much.